YouTube family, welcome back to the channel. So let's get right into this video. Let's talk about how you're a naturally observant person. So you probably know throughout your whole life, ever since you were really young, like as far as you could remember, you were always someone that just observed things, right? Like you were likely quiet when you were younger, like as young as possible. Like you could have been this way since literally you were born, right? You just had this way of observing things and like seeing things clearly your whole life. Whether that's seeing through somebody, seeing through a situation, knowing the truth about a situation, but whenever you spoke the truth, people would hate you, right? You're this type of person. You're not a person that could live in a lie, right? You're not a person that could just live inauthentic. You just can't do it. And because you've been this observant type of person, whenever you've spoke to people that are like plotting, scheming, liars, wicked people, you will go around these people, and these people live pridefully, like they could do whatever they want. They think people are fools, right? But as soon as you come around, you'll see this person starts hating on you immediately, right? Because you catch on to it so fast. You're just like, oh, this person's fake. This person's a liar. This person's a schemer, right? You just see it quickly because you're made to see this, because it comes from the gift of discernment. And not only the gift of discernment, but you're just a highly intelligent person, right? You're just intelligent with these things. God made you this way 100% for a reason. It's not like you're just an overthinker or you're this or that. You're this way for a reason, because if you weren't this way, you would easily jump into the world and fall into like wicked things, right? And it feels almost as if like for some reason you're this way and then everyone else could just live their life, right? And like do things and like they don't question it. And for you, for some reason, it's always like something stopping you. It's like you could do something and you always know exactly what's going on. You always be like, oh, this is not even worth it, or this is not right. Like you always have this like conviction about you. You always have this like urge to like say the truth because you always see it, right? And since you being this way, your observant nature has made people react a certain way to like what you say and what you do. Because whenever you go to like any situation, if it's like a social situation, right, you might come around and like attention starts getting on you, right? Because they see you and you're not really fully in the social situation. You're there, but you're not really like in there, right? This is why like you don't fit in, because you don't just like go in a social situation and act like everybody, right? You go in there and you start observing everything. So when people see you, you stand out because they're like, this person has a different feel to them, right? They're like, who's this person? He's not acting the same as everyone. He's not doing the same things. Or they'll just be like, he or she doesn't seem like they're enjoying it, or like they'll just be curious about you, right? This is just in your nature. This is what you're made to do. You're made to see situations for what they really are, right? And you've always been like this, but you've likely also had trauma ever since childhood, like bad situations with people that made that even stronger. Because you had that type of trauma, then your observational skills got even stronger, because you remember from the past what happened whenever you did like a certain situation, and now you see it even more clearly, right? So all these things kind of build throughout your whole life, but you were always born naturally observant. And naturally you hated evil, right? Because you're of God. You're of God. And you being this way, you'll go into a situation, whatever the situation is, like people, and like you'll see someone acting fake, right? Someone acting like someone who they're really not. And this happens 100% of the time. If you go around this type of person, someone that's acting fake, you'll see through it 100% of the time, and that person will hate you. You won't even have to say anything. They just know that you see through them. They feel vulnerable, right? And because they feel vulnerable, they'll try to attack you. They gotta like protect themselves. The whole time you're not even saying anything, and the whole time you don't even have any malicious intent, right? Because you could spot vulnerability, but you're empathetic. You're not going to attack vulnerability. You're going to help the vulnerable, right? And if you ever do attack vulnerability, God watches you the whole time, and you're going to get judged for it too, right? And you get conviction anyway. You know that it's wrong, so you're not that type of person. But whenever you see other people that do that same thing, you spot it immediately. And this is why people hate you, because they're like, oh, this person sees my schemes, right? People literally don't think they're doing anything wrong, or like they laugh about their wrongdoing, but then they get mad because you spot it, right? You see it immediately. So whenever you come around, they gotta kind of put you down. You're like a threat to them, pretty much. Whenever you're around, they can't act the way that they want to. They have to be their real self. That's why anyone who's wicked or insecure about themselves, or just lives doing all these bad things and everything, they can't be around you. They're gonna start to hate you immediately. They're gonna start to put you down, because you're light. You're all light, and light can't mix with dark. And anytime you hang out with like dark people, go in like a dark situation, people's eyes are gonna be on you. They're gonna be like, who is this light, right? Who's this person? They're gonna start hating on you. They're gonna start looking at you evil. They're gonna start spewing envy, jealousy, and all this stuff, right? You just bring these things out of people. It's just who you are, right? It's in the spirit. It's not necessarily that you do it. It's your spirit, because you carry the spirit of Christ. And the world hated Christ, right? So they're gonna hate you too, because you're not of this world. And because you observe all these situations, pretty much whenever you come around situations, people feel like their schemes are exposed, so like they have to protect themselves, right? This is what people do when you're around. This is why you probably had many relationships with people, like a lot of friendships and everything, that went south, right? All of a sudden, like there's this envy or like jealousy or like random hate, right? That's what it is, because people can't act like someone they're not around you. And if they don't like who they actually are, if they're not acting like their true self, they're gonna hate you. They're gonna be like, man, I don't want to show my true self to this person. I don't like my true self. So they're gonna just hate you until they heal, right? And you just naturally create these situations because of your spirit. You kind of cause healing in people. Whenever you go around people, people start to view themselves for who they really are, and like, if they don't like who they really are, it's going to be painful to these people. But if they do like who they really are, they're going to be happy you came around, because then they see their strengths and everything, right? You just expose these things naturally because you see through it. This is why I say if you're of God, if you're chosen, you kind of have these eyes that are soul piercing, right? You like kind of like see through completely. It was something that you've always had. This is why a long time ago I spoke about, in one of my older videos, about signs that you're chosen. Ever since you were young, you always had these you've always just had this soul-piercing gaze. This soul-piercing gaze that saw through things. It's always been like that. And when you were younger, you were observant. You had the soul-piercing gaze and you were observant, and you were really quiet, right? It's like you came into the world already just aware of what's going on. That's how you came, right? So you've likely been like this your whole life. And everything's going to have a positive and a negative. So your observant nature is going to lead you to doing the correct thing in life, going to your purpose, and helping a lot of people. But it's also going to make people hate you, right? Because people that hate you, if people hate you, it's a good thing because you're doing something right. So it's normal. And you've had people hate you your whole life, right? You've had people love you, you've had people hate you. It's just how it is for you. But yeah, the main thing about this video is that you're a naturally observant person. This is how you are. You don't fit in. You never go into anywhere and just completely fit in. You observe everything. And people can see that, right? People can see that you have a different spirit. And since you observe everything, you're going to make things get exposed. You're going to be able to see through things, right? You're going to see through evil. You're going to see through all these schemes and plots and everything. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Of course, don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Don't forget to like, and don't forget to comment below. All right, God bless you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.